What is the swamp, Chico? Really, what is the swamp? I keep hearing you mentioning the swamp. What is the swamp, Chico? Well, the swamp is a group of people. They are divided in different communities and they are on different areas. Some of them are pet owners as well, but they promote breeding by anybody. They believe this sense of equality for them. All dogs are all equal, and they don't know the difference between a real American Pit Bull Terrier and a fake Pit Bull. That those dogs that didn't exist prior 1985, 1980, like the Blues, the Blue Nose, the XLs, double X's, triple X's, and the Giants. They might come from some American Pit Bull Terriers prior, but they got deformed and mixed after 1985. Some of them by breeders that might have had okay or good dogs back prior 1980, but they wanted it contour and they wanted to satisfy certain communities, and they started to breed dogs to give Rome what Rome wanted, and they didn't keep their dogs to become only the very best dogs of the world. And so there were guys, for instance, in the old family Red Nose that had dogs that were pedigree and maybe closer to real good quality dogs in the past. And with the compared to what, they were already not real American Pit Bull Terriers, but they were closer to the real deal, and they had stronger chances to have the traits of the real deal. But those guys, they started breeding for size, they started to infuse other breeds and to create these big, monstrous red noses with no temperament that can really hurt the child. That's one of the swamps. But the nastiest swamp is the swamp of the current low-level dog fighters. The mentality of the crime, the criminal, the lowlife, that person that is just a criminal factor of society that is attracted to anything that's illegal. And they want to fight dogs, and all the fans of dog fighting as well, current dog fighting. And they want to hear all stories about this and blah, blah. And they just be on forums, talking, watching videos. A lot of YouTube channels that have those, they make up stories. Some of them are made up, some of them are fake. But they want to keep promoting that. That's the swamp. The opposite of the swamp is excellence, is quality, is greatness, great ownership, people that are not going to breed their dogs because they don't want to be part of the cancer. Every breed, every bloodline got destroyed by breeders, which they call themselves breeders, but they're not real breeders. I don't know how to call them. They are doing the same thing the dogs do by themselves when they are free running around on the street, having sex and having puppies and selling them to anybody. They are not real breeders. A breeder is something else, but they took the name and they tie it to themselves. The same way they are fanciers of the so-called breed or the movement or the game or whatever, and they just glorify dog owners of dog fanciers, and they call themselves dogmen. So they use these names that do not belong to them. It's like, let's say anybody that is playing basketball, say, bro, I'm a Jordan. Yeah, I'm an NBA player, but they never play in the NBA. They not Michael Jordan, but they call themselves a Jordan. It's very common in society for people to do that. You see those people, these fat women that are playing with the show dogs and stuff like that, with these dogs jumping and playing and blah, blah, blah. And they call themselves dog women. That's not a real dog woman. That might be a pet owner playing with a dog that they like. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. But they are not really dog women. And they're not dogmen for sure. And these organizations that give these guys titles of dogmen of the year, whatever, those are not real dogmen. I mean, maybe they give this award to a real dogman, and then they tag a whole bunch of other guys that are just regular guys who are doing dog maintenance, like taking care of your dog and give your dog vaccinations and deworming your dog and walking your dog and training your dog. That doesn't make you a dogman. Dogman is something different. And so they took these people that with the fake pit bulls, they call them pit bulls. They're not pit bulls. They're using these tags and they tagging them too much, and they're calling them pit bulls. So wake up and understand the swamp is everything that is negative, and it goes against the breed. See, those guys that call themselves breeders, even if they were good guys, and a lot of those guys are very good people, by the way, they're just confused. So people get confused. The other people that will look at them, they get confused. That's a very nice guy. But people confuse that those guys are very nice guys with them being actual dogmen, because he might be a very nice guy and very honest person and very patriotic man, but he's absolutely not a dogman. And they just are born or walk into a community where they told them, you know, if you bounce this ball around the court, you're a professional basketball player. No merits, no trophies, nothing. It's the same thing. And this is how society works. And I'm here to debunk all this BS. Real dogmen are not those guys. Real American Pit Bull Terriers are not those guys. Having a pedigree where you have a great dog in the pedigree doesn't make the dog a great dog. What makes a dog a great dog is when the dog comes directly out of a wealth of genetics, out of a man that knows how to produce and has already produced great dogs, dogs of the year, fantastic dogs, like let's say Ciega the Great or the background mechanic Bog Atos. Those guys that are at that level, they consistently have truckloads of dogs that they make themselves. Not just attach the name to dogs. See, a lot of these puppy peddlers, they are providers of dogs to the swamp. They make these dogs, they breed them and they sell them to the low-level people, right? So some low-level guy goes and do some BS of the chain here and blah, 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 gamblers, drug dealers, whatever. And they come back and they say, yeah, I got this dog, man, you're a champion. They buy it back and they put their name back on the dog and they say, yeah, this dog is a champion. What level? What level? You should never question all these things. And so the swamp is divided in those groups. You have the blue dog, extra XL, double XL, all ignorant, maybe good people. And I'll say between those swamps, divisions, the people that own the blue dogs and they are breeding blue dogs, and they are, because I'm not saying the guys that own them, I'm actually talking about the breeders, not the owners, the breeders and the promoters of those dogs. To call them pit bulls, they're using a name that doesn't belong to them. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like having a small Prius, Toyota Prius, and call it a Ferrari. Oh yeah, it's a Ferrari. Yeah. Put the name on it, paint it red. It's a Ferrari. No, it's not a Ferrari, fool. He does not have 12, 16 cylinders and 800, 1500 horsepower, and it's fantastic, made in Italy. It's not a Ferrari. You can wish it's a Ferrari, but it's not a Ferrari. So those guys that call those dogs pit bulls, they might be nice people and just confused. They don't know the history, and they're watching the video and learning, and their eyes are opening like, wow, I didn't know that. Yes, but then there's the criminal side, swamp, which is the nasty swamp. And within the swamp, these guys are social morons. They don't know what quality is. That you have Fast and the Furious peddlers that have no level whatsoever, just a quick tongue, and they are providers of dogs for the swamp, which the swamp will go do criminal stuff in America right now, today. So I only sell my dogs to great people, great humans, doctors, lawyers, engineers. And I'm pretty sure that soon some of those swampers will be like, times are changing. Maybe I got to be like Chico Lopez. Maybe I got to have a contract. And they'll change. Back in 2010, I came out with this real American Pit Bull Terrier, the real Pit Bull. And, if I'm using a wider collar rather than a very thin collar, everybody jumps on it. Whatever I do, everybody jumps on it. They hate, but I'm the leader. I'm the light. And when they come in, they follow. So they started, even some guys, they just went back to the old pedigrees of the dogs and the old videos, and they put the word real in front of it. Because they want to be like Chico Lopez. They fantasize to be like Chico Lopez. But the biggest choke I ever put in the swamp and in the culture of dog fighting is two things. Number one, I making educational videos to educate the new generations that are coming in not to be on the swamp, to become great owners, to pursue their lives, to become great human beings in whatever they want to be, doctors, lawyers, engineers, winners. The title of dogman is not yours, never going to be yours. You can be a great dog owner, which is much better than being a fake dogman. And the second thing is I choke them because every time, traditionally, All the old timers will sell dogs to people that were in different times active in the dogs and doing things that today are illegal. But the people, the men that used to do those things with the dogs back in those days, many of them were high quality men. Today you have low quality men, low quality individuals. And some of them are good people that maybe are in it for 30, 40 years and they just never evolve. Their mind is so small, 30, 40 years that you didn't see that the whole thing changed, that you're dealing with scumbags now. And some of them retired many years ago. And they call me. They say, listen, I've been out of the dogs for 20 years. I got out because the people were garbage. And I saw these YouTubers, all these garbage guys pretending to be dogmen and having stupid conversations, and I got out of it. And I found you because I found the hater, or some hater speaking your name. So I got curious to know who the hell is Chico Lopez. And when I found who Chico Lopez is and I look at your website, I realize you are the man, your customers are happy. I'm not who I used to be. I'm a great man today. And I'm willing to sign your contract. Here's my picture ID. This is my home. I will have the dog as a pet. We'll do a call and you can see my wife, you can see whatever. These guys, they actually evolved to become better guys. But because there's a big ego in all of us, and some of those guys already built a brand of being kings of the swamp, they'll stay in the swamp. And so this here is an educational video for those that want to know. And there'll be some talk like, yeah, man, fuck Chico Lopez, man, yeah, man, yeah. Yeah, win the game, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The bloodline and that blah, 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 all this BS. Smart people will watch this video, learn, and know the world is changing. Now, protect your children because all this other group of crazy psychopaths want to come and take your children. So a lot of the old swampers, they want to have dogs around them, but they also need to peddle dogs. And now they got Frenchies, and one time they had bullies. So they really never loved the breed. You see what I'm saying? Got a guy that called me and said, man, I've been in the game for many, many years. I said, what do you mean? He said, I used to have pit bulls and I used to breed them. I said, really? And, but changed now, because of this, because of that. Now I'm in the game. I'm a dogman. I'm breeding bullies. So really, you're a dogman. You're a dogman. You, with the bullies, a dogman. See, people, they self-title themselves with no backup. They never been Dogman of the Year. They never bred a dog, 2 or 3 dogs of the year. They never travel. They are just pretenders. And that's exactly how it works. So I want you to learn here today. Take care of your dogs. Love your dogs. Love everything that is great and excellence. Study excellence. Study success. Study winning. Because the American Pit Bull Terrier, the real dog from Chico Lopez, is related to winning. It's related to never give up. It's related to the GOAT mentality. My name is Chico Lopez, and I've been with the American Pit Bull Terrier, the real American Pit Bull Terrier, for 33 years. And yes, I started with a dog that was not a real American Pit Bull Terrier. He was a very successful dog. I didn't take him and breed him and started like, oh yeah, I want my dog to be real by force. No, I went there, I looked around, and I realized that most dog people were common. When you look at a guy that's common in everything he does in his life, how that person will become amazingly successful? By breeding dogs. It's consistency. Their behavior is consistent. They're mediocre in their life. They're mediocre in everything they do. They don't have passion for anything. They don't want to win. They want to keep people happy. And so you'll see that whenever you have a person, whether it's a book writer, a magazine writer, or a company that provides services to anybody in the dogs, I don't mess with them, and they don't mess with me. And the reason is because they need to cater the business. They need to cater the swamp. They need to keep them happy. They have a product to sell to them. I don't. I only want to work with great people. You don't have to be rich. All you have to do is be a great human. If a lady that her ex-boyfriend gave her a fake red nose, and now she wants to have a real red nose from Chico Lopez, and she can save the money with an effort to buy the best dog in the world, Don't you come calling me, telling me like, oh my God, I'm broke. I want to working man's price, blah, blah, blah. Grab a set of nuts, become a real man, an alpha male, call me, get the best dog for your children. If you don't want to do it for yourself, maybe you want to do it for your grandchildren and raise hard boys and girls so they can give you great grandchildren that are good people in the world and not a whole bunch of tutti frutti guys. My name is Chico Lopez. You can always find me at chicolopez.com. And you might not like this message because you are soft, because you're a pink unicorn. But if you're a real man, you'll drop a comment down below and say, man, I love this guy. I love his message. He's a top G. And we like this stuff. We love your dogs. And I will get a dog from you soon. I will call you. And if you're going to call me, 806-500-5552. 806-500-5552. Stop procrastinating. All your life, you have much. Give yourself a chance to have a real great dog from the greatest dogman that ever lived. Check my journey and check me against anyone that you like and care about in the dogs. You'll see most of them cannot tie my shoes. God bless you.